Yeah, I think I'll try not to talk about AI overviews because I feel like I always do anyways. But outside of that sort of massive change in Google, they are experimenting with a ton of different search engine results page layouts. Depending on the industry, we're seeing that for a lot of CPG products, that the search engine results page almost mirrors a product page. What you would see on something like Amazon, where I was looking for running shoes, pretending I was going to start running again, and the whole SERP was just it was like I was on Nike.com or something, and I could just saw all of the available options with like color filters and all of those things. So search is completely changing from, especially from an organic standpoint, because something like that, it's no longer writing content on 10 best running shoes. It's under, and Robin touched on it earlier, but it's the technical aspects of how are your product pages coded and set up to allow for Google to bring in your products into this really like a product page type of layout. So it's
Yeah,
a little bit different, and I think content is shifting in a big way, where it's that blog style content for a lot of industries may not be as important. It's something that we're evaluating and really digging into Search Console and our different keyword research tools to truly measure how that piece of SEO and what's been considered kind of the cornerstone of SEO is going to play in the future.
I think it logically makes sense too, right? With search drawing crowds away from Google into TikTok and YouTube and ChatGPT and all of the things. Um, it makes sense for Google to come up with ways to really play more in that commerce space to keep them on their platform. That's how advertisers stay there. That's, it's a smart move. It's definitely something you want to keep an eye on and plan through, and be as proactive as we can to capture those audiences. Anything else anyone wants to add to organic?
I would just say, I know we've had a lot of conversations internally about this and something we're still trying to figure out what the future is going to look like, but reframing our mindset of instead of search engine optimization, just search optimization and optimizing for
Right.
discoverability in that non-traditional search environment. So how can we optimize things on TikTok with whether it just be, engaging thumbnails or hashtags or even just the AI chat tools and how that information is digested. It's, the answers given to you right when you type that into the search box. So how can we change the way we're writing our content that's going to speak to the way that search is, the where it's heading right now. And so in addition to that, I would just say when you think about when you're writing content, how many people are now leveraging AI tools and how much of that duplicate content is out there. One thing AI tools cannot do is they cannot write based on experience. So making sure
Yeah.
you take your industry experience and add that into the content in a way that's formatted of how an AI chat tool would display that to you.
So
And I mean
true. I
that's
think that's why it's such an unsatisfactory search a lot of times because there's so much, it's easy to create content these days. Sorry, Drew, go ahead.
No, and I think that's why like something like a TikTok or ChatGPT, that's the role they play, is for almost like crowdsourcing review content. During this call, I was just looking for where should I get pizza near me in on ChatGPT, and like the results are I'm not going to eat pizza during the webinar, Subi, don't worry. But that like that sort of search we always think that people go to Google for those types of things, but that the more that people are on ChatGPT and TikTok and all these other platforms, the more that they're going to start using the native search function in these platforms. Like something like Facebook, they actually just released, or sorry, Meta, they released a very, very functional generative search model directly in their platform. And there's AI elements incorporated in one of my neighborhood groups. It was an AI review of a pizza place. And it's all of that is going to drastically shift how people search. And it's no longer, in my opinion, a search engine optimization. It's search optimization. When people
Yeah.
search on anything across the web, is your business showing? Because if not, you're going to miss out.
The irony of your comment was that I was recently craving New York style pizza, which Virginia does not make well. And the searches were so like not helpful that I went to TikTok to find people reviewing. And I think these business pages on Meta or Facebook, because Not everyone uses it for meta, but these things that have been kind of long forgotten, with the exception of maintaining reputation, I think they're going to come back in a big way if they really incorporate the capabilities that they're teasing, as well as, they could. Anything to
And
add to search?
Susan,
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Just one thing
Yeah.
I wanted to add, as we're really looking at other industries and trying to identify where these users are doing their searches and how they're interacting, like, I think it's a really good point to understand where your audience is for every specific industry, because it always is changing. So making sure that you identify where your audience is and then marketing to them where they are, instead of trying to bring them somewhere that you want to be marketing at.